going to make sure you grab these safety glasses, and you'll notice they're numbered, that belong to your station. So when it's your turn, if you're in station 1, you're going to come up, grab station 1 safety glasses, put them on. When you get to the springboard, you're going to get your template pattern, which will have your station number on it once again, and you're going to get a plastic springboard. When you lay this on, it's okay if it's a little wider than the plastic, but you're going to take this round end and you're going to bring it right up to the top, and you're going to simply trace that round end on. So I just simply trace it on, so I have the round end drawn on the end. I'm then going to go ahead and draw the circle, and then I'm going to write my first and last name. I'm going to write that first and last name on both sides. That way you know which one is yours and you don't fight over it with your partner. But once I have this done, I'm going to go ahead and go to the back to use the electric sander. Now, as you come to the back, you're going to notice that there's hearing protection up on the wall. As we're working, there's going to be times where it's noisy. If you decide you need them, you're more than welcome to grab them at any time. So I'm going to be using electric sander number 1 or electric sander number 2. Once again, when I come up, I'm going to make sure my blast gate is open. Main blast gate is open. If nobody's on the other one, make sure that blast gate's closed. I'm then going to go ahead and turn on the dust collector, turn on the shot vac, then I'm going to sand on the yes side. I'm then going to come in and I'm going to turn on the electric sander, and I'm going to go on the yes side, and I'm going to very quickly sand that down to the line. Once again, being careful not to go on the X. I sand down the other side, and if you need to flip it over, clean it up a little bit, you can. But I'm going to simply sand down. If someone's waiting behind me, I can leave those both on, and I simply turn the electric sander off. Now, I'm going to sand right down to my line, and you can see my line is still on there. When I get done, I'm going to come over to my sandpaper, and I'm going to spend an entire day sanding these edges, and you can see where there's a bunch of saw marks, and you can feel them if you take your fingernail along it. But I'm going to sand straight up. I'm going to sand at an angle, and so if you kind of look, it's about a 45-degree angle, and I sand at an angle, and you'll see standing up, giving good pressure. You're going to once again do this, taking about an entire class period. Once again, if I get lots of sawdust, take it, dump it out, not blowing it across the room, but you're going to see these lines are going to start to slowly fade out. But I'm going to keep sanding at an angle, and I'm going to do that all the way around. When I get to the end, I'm going to do the same deal, just kind of rounding it over. And I'm going to work my way all the way around. Once again, taking about an entire class period worth of sanding. If you don't get done before the end of class, once again this, along with all your other pieces, will go in your bin. Now, once you've sanded, and you can see blue around the outside edge, and it's been about almost an entire class period, your sandpaper is most likely by this point going to look something more like this. Now, if yours doesn't look like this, check with your instructor. They'll have some scraps. But what's going to happen is you're going to end up tearing a piece of this off. And you're going to take this, and you're going to come over to the sink. And you're going to wet this sandpaper down. So you're going to run it under the water, get it wet. Once you get that wet, kind of shake it off in the sink, make sure the water's off. You're going to come back to the table. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your sandpaper and you're going to sand with your hand just getting those edges nice and smooth and clean. So I kind of come around to the top. I come around to the other side. And you're just doing this holding in your hand above the table. When you get to the end, just kind of put it in your palm a bit. Do the same deal. Now your sandpaper might start to kind of fall apart. That's okay if it does. But you're going to take this and you're just going to clean up that outside edge. And this is simply going to polish your edges up. And the end is going to take longer than the other sides. But you'll see how this is starting to get nice and smooth and clean. Right? You do the same to the other side. And if your sandpaper would become destroyed, just take another clip. But that's after, once again, you've sanded for about a day with regular sandpaper. Now, after you get that done, you kind of look around, and I can see I still have some scratches over on this side, so I'm going to come over here, polish that side up a little more. Now, once you have it cleaned up with your sandpaper, once again, you're going to go ahead. That wet sandpaper goes in the trash. Grab a dustpan if you need to. Scrap pieces like this, you're going to give back to your instructor. If you got a clean sheet, you'll give that to your instructor. They'll tell you where to put it. Hang your dustpan back up. If your hole's faded, you can always grab your template, flush it up to the end, and redraw your circle on there a little darker so you know where to drill. Now you're going to be using drill press number 3 to drill the hole in your springboard. Now to do this, you're going to simply come up to drill press number 3. So before you drill, make sure you wipe off the table to make sure there's nothing on there so that you don't have any pieces try to break your springboard. So wipe it off, then you'll put your springboard up there to drill. You're going to line that bit up with your circle, making sure the long side's going off to the left. You're then going to go ahead, turn on the drill press, bring it down, and you're going to slowly drill in. Going all the way down until it stops. Once it stops, you're going to clean up your mess. Once again, you may need to get a dustpan out. Throw your scraps in the trash. Sweep off the table. Put it in the trash. Now, before the next person drills, when you come up to the drill press, make sure you wipe off the table so that it's nice and flat.